session. Sandeep, over to you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Sandeep Nandi, Assistant Professor of Surendra Institute of Engineering and Management, Siliguri. So today our institution organized a national webinar on NDLI user awareness program, and our today's chief guest is Mr. Dr. Vignesh Swarnamohan, sir. He is the Chief Strategic and the Outreach Officer of National Digital Library of India at IIT Kharagpur. So we are very thankful to our Honorable Principal, Sir, Dr. S. Nagarajan, our Director, Ma'am, Mrs. Snigdha Agrawal, and our Chairman, Sir, Mr. Sharad Agrawal, for helping us to organize such a platform. So I would like to request our Principal, Sir, for lighting the lamp. Sir, please.
একটা মিটিং শুরু করার আগে কি একটা মঙ্গল মন্ত্র চালু।
Yes, Sandeep.
Okay, sir. Now I would like to request our Mr. Shishir Kumar Hathi, sir, the Chief Librarian and President of SIM NDLI, for delivering the welcome address. Sir, please.
Thank you, Sandeep.
Welcome, sir.
Very good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to extend a cheerful welcome to you all. Your presence makes us very happy. On behalf of our institution, Surendra Institute of Engineering and Management, Siliguri, I heartily welcome our chief guest, Dr. V. Swarnamohan, faculty members, staff members, and my students. Today, we have gathered here for the NDLI user awareness session by SIEM, Siliguri. I appreciate and thank each and everyone who put equal effort behind the success of our institution. We expect to gather a lot of information related to digital library, accessibility to engineering, ebooks, journals, thesis, etc. Once again, I welcome you all. Thank you for joining the program. I hereby hand over the sessions to the moderator, Mr. Sandeep Nandi, of this session. Thank you.
Now I would like to request our Honorable Dr. S. Nagarajan, sir, for inaugural address. Sir, please.
Thank you, Sandeep Nandi. Respected Chairman, sir, Director, Madam, distinguished Chief Guest of today's session, Dr. Vignesh Swarnamohan, Chief Strategic and Outreach Officer for National Digital Library of India from IIT Kharagpur, and my dear staff members and students, very good afternoon to one and all present here. Today we all gathered virtually to inaugurate the NDLI Club for our college. I take this opportunity to brief about the NDLI to all of you. However, our chief guest will elaborate during his presentation. The National Digital Library of India has opened up its 35 million strong digital content, making available ebooks, past question papers for the benefit of students with solutions, lecture materials, and thesis, among others, to help students study at home. Especially this kind of digital platform is very much useful during this pandemic period. The NDLI is the largest online library in the country, especially for the academic purpose. NDLI is opening up its contents to students, researchers, teachers, and learners of all the ages and various languages. And many people are thinking that NDLI club is suitable for college students. Not like that. It is very well suitable for school student. Any age group can access to NDLI platform. Various resources are available based on their interest and other things. The NDLI was set up by the Union Home Resource Development Ministry, MHRD, under its National Mission on Education through Information and Communication Technology. It is run and managed by IIT Kharagpur. The content, while 270 million are open access document, another 7.7 million has been made freely accessible to NDLI users through national license by MHRD. The library content includes a wide range of materials in the form of e-books, as I said earlier, audio books, lecture materials, thesis reports, articles, journal papers, question papers, solution data, and so on. With this small message, I would like to convey my sincere thanks to the chief guest of today's session. Sir will give you the overall picture and a clear insight about NDLI platform to all of us today. So on behalf of management and my own behalf, I take this opportunity to thank our chief guest, Dr. Vignesh Swarnamohan, for accepting our invitation to inaugurate the NDLI Club at Surendra Institute of Engineering and Management. With that, I conclude my speech. Once again, I convey my sincere thanks to all the faculty members and students for supporting me during this pandemic period for conducting various programs. Thank you. Over to the moderator.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to request the Secretary of SIM NDLI, Mr. Malay Saha sir, to introduce our chief guest.
Thank you, Sandeep. Hello, everybody. A very good afternoon to one and all present in the room. Me, Malay Saha, Secretary of SIM NDLI Club. I am here to introduce our chief guest, Mr. Vignesh Swarnamohan. With due respect to the management of Surendra Institute of Engineering and Management, our principal sir, all faculties, and all the participants of today's session. I am highly excited, to avail this opportunity in introducing our chief guest come keynote speaker with all of you related to our NDLI club. But before that, I would like to mention one small thing, that this is very interesting to note that only 150 colleges, engineering colleges, out of 2,500 colleges all over the India have been qualified to become a club member, NDLI club member. So it is a very proud moment that we are one of them, one of that 150. So now coming about that Mr. Vignesh Swarnamohan, who is currently the Chief Strategic and Outreach Officer of National Digital Library of India. He is also the founder of Brilliant IAS Preparer, a mobile-based, low-cost training solution for the civil services aspirants. Before this, he worked with the Indian Public Library Movement and CSC E-Governance Services India Limited. Mr. Vignesh has more than 14 years of research development and program management experience in the domains of information and communication technology for development, education, skill development, e-governance, social entrepreneurship, public policy, health, and rural development. Mr. Vignesh has managed large development projects like National Digital Library Mission, which is abbreviated in the form NDLM, Cybergram Yojana, e-inclusion, IT training for rural SC, ST and women beneficiaries, e-Vidya innovative project for rural women, women digital literacy project, child labor family linkages project, financial literacy and investor awareness, legal literacy, teleophthalmology, digital diagnostic kits, and telemedicine centers. He has also conceived and implemented many innovative ICT-led policy initiatives for promoting inclusive growth in rural parts of India. Mr. Vignesh holds a Doctor of Philosophy from the Center for the Study of Law and Governance of Jawaharlal Nehru University with a master's in public management. His research interests include public accesses to technology, technology-enabled learning, governance, public policy, social enterprise development, inclusive growth, rural development, etc. He has been actively participating in various international forums like UN General Agreement on ICT4D, Internet Governance Forum, e-Asia, International Telecommunication Union, e-India, etc., and whatnot. So we would expect a lot of information, a lot of knowledge, which will be shared by Mr. Vignesh, our today's keynote speaker. So thank you very much. So handing over the session to the moderator. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So now I would like to request our keynote speaker and chief guest, Dr. Vignesh Chandamohan, sir, to deliver his lecture. Sir, please.
Thank you so much, respected principal Dr. Nagarajan, all the faculty members and student members of the Surendra Institute of Engineering and Management. So I think without wasting much time, let's directly get into the presentation. Okay, so is my presentation visible to all of you?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. So in today's session, we are going to look at 6 objectives. One is why NDLI was created, who is this part, what kind of content we have at NDLI, and then how to access NDLI, what is the difference between Google and NDLI, and then how to operate NDLI Club. So these are the 6 things that we are going to look at in today's session. And the most important thing, why a digital library, why National Digital Library of India was established. So many of you know, as Professor Dr. Nagarajan mentioned, during this pandemic, the world has changed the way it used to access knowledge resources. Right? Earlier, they used to go to a library and like search, browse through the catalog and identify the resource and then take it issued for them, or take a photocopy in the library itself and then use it for educational purposes. But this pandemic was completely devastating, wherein all the libraries across the globe was closed. Right, the libraries, like you name many major libraries in the world, everything was closed down. But even during that time, the National Digital Library of India was giving access to over 1 crore users across the globe, not just in India, outside of India also. So that is the beauty of the digital library. So whether it's a lockdown or any human challenges or natural challenges that we face, the National Digital Library of India was giving access to knowledge resources. And apart from this, there are challenges so so before 5 to 7 years, what was happening is like many of the institutions, uh, they were reducing the financial and human resources for libraries. And the institutions have their own reasons. They said like many students, they don't go to the library, or the faculty members don't use the library. And they also say like the admissions are very less. So we have reduced the financial and human resources for libraries. Uh, though it may look valid, but the serious impact or repercussion that on this reduction in the financial and human resources will directly can be seen on the what do you call the learning outcomes of the students, right? So majority of the institutions felt it, but unfortunately very few institutions realized and took corrective action. So uh, so investing in libraries was getting a challenge. So the government of India looked at this as one of the key challenges of for learning outcomes. And they also looked at so if you look at the physical libraries, like imagine your own library where you have a space for stacking about 10,000 resources, which can be extended up to say 15,000 resources. But what about if you have procured over 30,000 resources? Where will you stack these resources, right? So either you need to identify additional space for stacking resources, or you have to discard the old resources, right? So so in the physical library, that is another challenge. So I have seen in many libraries where they, since they don't have much space for stacking resources, they used to put it on the top of the existing racks, on the window, on the reading tables of the students, on the tables of the librarians, on the corridors of the libraries. So there were a lot of space crunch in many of the libraries. And also there was a challenge like accessing the same resources by multiple persons at the same time. Say for example, one of your faculty member prescribed a material, so one chapter in a book. So what would happen is, like, suppose if there are about 40 students in the class, when you go to try to access it, in most of the cases what would happen is, like, if it's a good resource, the book might have been already issued to another faculty member, right? So either you have to wait for that book to come back, or you go to that faculty member and get it photocopied and give it back to him. So that is also another challenge. So though I'm a strong believer of going to a physical library, sitting in the corner where there is complete silence and smelling the book, so that's how I feel like reading. But it has its own limitations. And also in the physical libraries we have challenges like missing resources, hidden resources, and damaged resources. So having seen all these challenges, the government of India actually wanted to democratize education. That is when this the concept of National Digital Library of India came into existence. So when it started, it was started as a pilot project, and gradually it became a national asset. Uh, so now, if you look at what do we have at NDLI? At NDLI, we primarily store or ingest metadata. What is the meaning of metadata? In technical terms, it's called data about data. But in this context, metadata is nothing but basic information about a resource. Say, for example, if there is a book, the title of the book, the author of the book, the publisher of the book, and the subjects that are being covered. Uh, uh, say, what are the abstract about the author. So the basic information about a resource is called metadata. So at NDLI, we only store or ingest metadata, right? Then you may ask me, like, what is the point of having only metadata in a digital library when we don't have access to full text resources, right? Yes, we also have metadata as well as the full text resources, but in a different format. So I will show the next diagram. So imagine this central part. This is the National Digital Library of India portal. As a first step, what we do is we partner with institutions. Say, for example, if Surendra Institute of Engineering and Management, if they have 1,000 non-copyrighted, digitized, open source resources, okay, which they are willing to share it with every Indian citizen, right? So in that case, what we do is we uh, first help you in setting up an IDR. Okay, IDR stands for Institutional Digital Repository. Once the IDR is created, then we help you in creating metadata for these 1,000 non-copyrighted resources. Okay, once the metadata is created, we just pull the metadata from here. Though the original content, the entire PDF content or the presentation will be available in your repository, we only pull the metadata from your end and then we store it here. Okay, now if a researcher from say Delhi wants to access one of your faculty publications, so he comes to NDLI, he searches for that faculty's name, and once he locates it, he clicks on that resource. Then what we do is we directly redirect him to your IDR. So here you validate this user whether he is coming from NDLI and registered user of NDLI. If he is from a registered user base, then you can give him access to the content directly to this researcher, right? So in this process, what the NDLI is trying to do is we become a content integrator or content facilitator, right? We became a platform where we collate resources and then share it with every Indian citizen. So that is the idea. And as I said, we primarily partner with institutions. We don't do scanning or we don't publish on our own. Rather, we partner with reputed institutions. So that the institution could be universities, research institutions, publishing partners, educational institutions, schools, colleges. So any teaching, learning, research and publication publishers. So they are part of our content contributors list, right? And as of today, we have around 349 such content contributors across the globe. So if you look at the contents, what type of content we have? So we have computer science, information and general works, closer to 1.6 crore resources, followed by philosophy and psychology, we have 6 lakh resources. Religion, we have 2.2 lakh resources. Social sciences, we have 58 lakh resources. Language, 1.8 lakh resources. Natural sciences and mathematics, we have 98 lakh resources. Technology, we have 1.27 lakh resources. The arts and fine and decorative arts, we have 17 lakh resources. Literature and rhetoric, we have 9.5 lakh resources. History and geography, we have 9.6 lakh resources. So if you add the entire list, as of today, we have 6.8 crore resources in our repository. Okay. And these 6.8 crore resources are in different learning resource types, right? It's not only PDF books or articles. So we have 60 different types of learning resource types available at NDLI. What are they? Some of them are listed here. It could be a faculty publication like a thesis, dissertation, research projects, undergraduation projects, PowerPoint presentations, video lectures, class notes, coursework, term papers, assignments, solutions, lab experiments, manuals, case studies, question banks, data sets, manuscripts, paintings, newspaper articles, annual reports, project reports, law acts, law judgments. So we have over 60 different types of learning resource formats available at NDLI. And these 6.8 crore resources are in 5 different access options. So basically, out of these 6.8 crore resources, say around 4.82 crore resources are full text resources. What is the meaning of full text resources? Full text resources are nothing but you can download the entire article or PDF or PowerPoint presentation and use it. Okay, so that is the full text resources. So there are about 70% of our resources are full text resources, right? So this can be located. So when you search below every search item, you can see this icon. So these are this denotes the access option. So 6.8 crore resources, out of which open access contents are about 4.7 crore resources. So these are resources which are available even outside of NDLI. Say for example, NCERT books. So NCERT books are about you can you can access it even directly from NCERT website. You go to NCERT website and then you can download entire books at free of cost. You don't have to pay a single penny, right? So that is called open access resources. And the beauty of NDLA is NDLA has collated over 200 such open resource platforms and brought it under a single umbrella. And the second one is NDL uses content. So these contents are primarily for NDLI registered users. So the Government of India procured national license from South Asia Archive and given it to NDL registered at free of cost. Okay, so the NDL users contents are primarily for primarily the national licensed content. Third one is limited access. Say for example, if there is a 30-page article, out of which only 10 or 15 pages may be accessible, remaining pages may not be accessible. So that is called limited access. Fourth one is subscribed. So for example, Springer and IEEE, we only have the metadata, we don't have the full text resources. Suppose if your institution has taken the subscription from IEEE or Springer, then you can access them directly from NDLI itself. You don't have to separately log into their website also. And the fifth one is restricted access. This may require additional authentication or approval from the source authority for accessing their resources. So these are the 5 different access options that are available. So before I move forward, I just wanted to tell you, at the end of the session, we will be having a quiz cum feedback form, and the question for the quiz cum feedback form will be shared from the presentation itself. So kindly listen to the presentation carefully. So open source contents are about 4.7 crore resources, and NDL users registered contents are about 6.6 lakh resources. So if you add 4.82 crore resources are full text resources, that is 70% of our resources are for educational and research purposes. So articles are about 3.7 crore resources, books are about 68 lakh resources, newspaper articles are 65 lakh resources, thesis are about 7.4 lakh resources, video lectures are about 4.7 lakh resources. Okay, these are major learning resource types of content that we have. And who is this for? So the content that are available at NDLI is meant for every age group. It's not only for one age segment. It's meant for starting from the school-going children to college-going youth, working professionals, academicians, researchers, entrepreneurs, and lifelong learners. So anyone who is interested in learning, we have resources for them. Now let's look at how to access NDLI. So there are 2 ways through which you can access NDLI. One is through a mobile app. So we have an NDLI mobile app at Play Store and App Store. You can use it through our mobile app, and you can also do a browser-based application as well. So I will show you how to access it from your browser. Okay. So first go to a search engine. So I went to Google and I searched for National Digital Library of India. The first URL which you get, which is ndl.iitkgp.ac.in, this is our official URL. Suppose if you want to open NDLI, what you need to do is just go here and click on this URL. Okay. Once you click, it will take you to our home page. This is how our new home page of NDLI looks like. So this is the top bar. So here you can see, you can browse the content by type, by subject category, by source and learning resource type. Okay, this is for browsing of content, and then you can search by giving a search topic, and then this is NDLI club button. So I will talk about it later, and then this is for changing the language interface. So actually the good part about NDLI is you can actually change the entire layout into various Indian languages. Okay, you just have to click on this language, then various Indian languages will be displayed here. You can just choose the language of your choice. Okay, suppose if you want to change it into Bangla, you can just do it into Bangla. Okay, and this is for logging to the NDLI system. Okay, suppose if you want to search on a topic, say engineering mechanics, so what you have to do is just enter the search topic and then click search, right? And these are the 3 newly created section, which is study at home section, under which our team has actually classified the resources for various educational level and educational domain. So schools and civics examination preparatory materials, these are meant for school education. So engineering, science, humanities, literature, law and management, these are meant for various higher educational domains. Okay, and we have some COVID-19 research repository as well, and some featured collections. Okay, every week we change the resources as well. Now, if you want to search on engineering mechanics, what you have to do is just enter the search keyword and then click search. Once you search, it will fetch the results. Now, to narrow down the results, so on the left hand side, you can see various filter options, right? So here I wanted to narrow down the results by looking at the content from only one author. Say, for example, I wanted the content only from an author called Sudarshan Iyengar. So what I have to do is go to the author filter and go to choose the author of your choice. So I chose Iyengar Sudarshan. I got 862 results. Okay. So there are various filter options. I will talk about it in a detailed manner in the next few slides. And the next topic I searched was on Java programming. Okay, this time I wanted, I applied a different filter. I wanted under the subject category of computer science and technology only, because Java programming may come in various subject category as well, but I wanted under the specific subject category of computer science and technology. So I went to subject category and then I chose computer science and technology. I got 3,197 results. And then next I searched for a topic called construction techniques. This time I wanted only PDF files. So what I did, I went to a filter called file format and I chose only PDF. I got 3,25,000 results on this topic. Okay. And then I searched for a topic called artificial intelligence. This time I wanted it from a source. So source is nothing but the content contributors. I told you there are 349 content contributors as of today, and these 349 content contributors are listed under the source category. So you can choose the source category of your choice. So I chose MIT OpenCourseWare and I got 64 results on the topic of artificial intelligence. And then I searched for a topic called C programming, data science, financial accounting, microeconomics, organizational behavior, human resource management, etc. So this is just to give you a flavor of what type of content we have at NDLI. And then I searched for a topic called biotechnology as well. Suppose if I wanted the thesis on the topic of biotechnology, you want to pursue your PhD on biotechnology, so you will obviously end up doing a literature survey. So first to do is to see various theses that are available. So for understanding various theses, what you have to do is go to source and then choose InfluBNet Shodhganga. Shodhganga is nothing but the repository of theses in India. Okay. So there are 6,536 theses available on this topic of biotechnology. Similarly, whatever topic you are searching, you can search for the topic and then go to source and then choose InfluBNet Shodhganga. So now I'm going to show you how to filter the contents using the domain from the study at home section. This is available only in the desktop application. It is yet to be introduced in the mobile app. So suppose if you want only engineering related content, so just go to the NDLI homepage and then just click engineering. Then you will see various subject categories in engineering subjects listed here. You can see there are some common subjects: aerospace engineering, architecture, chemical, civil, computer science, electrical, electronics and communication, mechanical, mining, etc. Similarly, we have science subjects as well, humanities, literature, law and management. So this is how you have to access. Suppose if you want video lectures from CEC, you can just choose. Suppose if you want video lectures on this topic of management from NPTEL, you can just choose NPTEL video lectures. Okay. Now, so far what we have seen is why NDLI was created, what type of content we have access we have at NDLI, who is this for, how to access NDLI, right? And now I'm going to show you how to view or download a content from NDLI. Okay, so before I tell you this, I just wanted to tell you, for searching and browsing at NDLI, you don't have to be registered and logged into NDLI. But suppose if you want to view or download a content from NDLI, then you must be registered and logged into NDLI. Then only you will be able to view or download a content, right? So now I'm going to show you with the help of an example. So I searched for a topic called research methodology, and I wanted specifically from a source called Lovely Professional University. So I chose Lovely Professional University I got 1438 results, right? Suppose if you want to open this first document, so what I have to do is just go here and then click. Once I click, it will take you to this page. This is how the page looks like. So by default, click on metadata. So this is called the metadata information. This is the title of the book. This is the source, content type, publisher, file format. So this is called the metadata, right? So now suppose if you find this resource useful, if you want to download this resource, then the second thing you need to notice is access restriction. So if the content is open and NDLI, then only you will be able to download the entire content. Otherwise, you will not be able to download the entire content. Okay. Now, since it's an open content, it means you can download this content. And the third thing you need to notice is whether you have logged in or not. As I said, only if you have registered and logged into NDLI, then only you will be able to download a content, right? Suppose if you have not logged in, then you will not be able to download the content. Since you can see my name is seen here, then you can download the content. So for downloading, what you have to do is just click on this content, then you will be able to
Sir, please unmute yourself.
sorry about it. So so there is this once you just click on this content, then the entire 338 pages of content will get downloaded into your laptop or desktop or mobile phone, depending on whichever device you are using. It will automatically get downloaded. In case if you have not logged in, so here you can see it's not displaying my name, it means I have not logged into the system. In that case, if you click on content, it will take you to a page like this. It will tell you please log in to view this content. Okay, so you just have to click on this login, then a pop-up window like this will open. Okay, suppose if you are already a registered member of NDLI, okay, so remember there are two different things. NDLI club is different, NDLI is different. Okay, if you are already a registered member of NDLI, you just have to enter your registered email ID, password and captcha and click login. Simple. Then the content will automatically get downloaded. Okay, in case you registered at NDLI few months back and you forgot your password, but you remember your registered email ID. In that case, what you can do is you can do an account recovery. How to do this? Just click on this account recovery button. Then a pop-up window like this will open. It will ask you to enter the registered email ID. Just enter the registered email ID and then click submit. Then you will get an automated email with the process to reset your password. Just follow the process. Then your account will get activated, and then you can come here and enter your registered email ID and new password. Enter the captcha and click login. Okay, and in case is this the first time you heard about NDLI and you never registered at NDLI, in that case what you can do is just click on this register button, then a registration form will open. Just fill the basic information about yourself, your full name, email ID, password, confirm password, date of birth, etc. Then click sign up. Then you will get an automated email to verify your account. Just click on the URL, then your account will get activated. So this is how you have to use NDLI. So now I'm going to tell you there are two things you need to remember for effectively using NDLI. One is you should know the correct search keyword. That is the first important thing. The second one is you should know the various filter options through which you can narrow down the results. Okay, so here I'm going to talk about some 9 important filter options through which you can actually narrow down the search results. So imagine you searched on a topic called engineering mechanics. Okay, and then you want only full text content. Full text means what I told you, the entire content, the entire PDF or audio file or video file, the entire book. Okay, suppose if you want only full text content, then what you have to do is just choose open and NDLI, then you will get only the full text content. Okay, and the second one is author. So suppose if you want the content only from one author called Wei Zhang, just choose Wei Zhang, then you will get the content only from this specific author. And third one is subject category. Depending on the search keyword, you have to choose the subject category. Fourth one is educational level. Suppose if you want the content only relevant for UG and PG, just choose UG and PG. And the next filter option is file format. Okay, so there are more than 60 different types of file formats available at NDLI. You can choose the, suppose if you want only PDF files, choose PDF. And the next one is language. At NDLI, the contents are available in more than 300 languages, both Indian as well as international languages. Suppose if you want the content in the language of Bangla or Bengali, then you just have to enter the language name and then choose the language. If the content is available in that language, then you will get the content on the same language itself. Okay, and then we have learning resource type. I already told you there are 60 different types of learning resource types available. You can choose the learning resource type of your choice. And the eighth filter option is source. So I told you all the content contributors, all the 349 content contributors are listed under the source filter. Suppose if you want the content only from Bangalore University, you can just go to the source and then choose Bangalore University. Okay. And the ninth filter option, this is available only in the desktop application, not in the mobile app, is content type. Suppose you want only video lectures, you can just go here and then choose video lectures. Suppose if you want only presentation, you can choose the presentation. So depending on your need, you can use the relevant filter options to narrow down the results. And so this is, I told you how to change the language interface. Just go to the top bar, choose the language interface of your choice. Currently, it's available in Bangla, Hindi, Gujarati, Kannada, Marathi, Odia, Tamil, Assamese, and Malayalam also. Other languages are also being added. Okay. Right. So now I'm going to show you how to use the NDLI mobile app. Okay. Suppose if you are using an Android phone, go to the Play Store. Suppose if you are using an iPhone, go to the App Store. Okay. And then enter in the search column, enter the entire app name. Enter National Digital Library of India. If you do NDLI in the App Store, you will not get the app. So you have to enter the entire name. So once you enter, then you have to look for this logo, app name, and the publisher name. All the three should be National Digital Library of India. Then you can just click on this install button in your mobile phone. Then the app will get installed in your mobile phone. Okay. Once the app is installed, just click on the app. Then this is how the NDLI home screen looks like. Okay. This is the home screen of NDLI. Here you can see there is a menu button. You can see a search icon here. This is for I think content, browsing the content, and this is for changing the language interface. So this is subject domain based content. You can see the various subject domain. You can scroll down to see the remaining subjects. This is learning resource type and featured sources also. Now I want to search on a topic called Uttar Pradesh. So what I have to do is just click on this icon, then the search box will appear. Okay, here you enter the search keyword from the keypad and then click search from the keypad. I got 41,573 results on this topic of Uttar Pradesh alone. Right now I want to apply filters. I want to narrow down the results. So what I have to do is just click on this icon. Then you will be able to see the various filters. So you can see a filter called source, content type, access restriction, etc. Okay. Now I wanted to apply a filter called source, and I wanted the content only from the source of Aligarh Muslim University. Okay, I chose Aligarh Muslim University and then clicked apply. I got 199 results only. Right. So this is how you have to use the NDLI mobile app. So now I'm going to give you a small activity. There are two parts to this activity. First part is I want each one of you to download the NDLI mobile app in your mobile phone if you have not yet done so. If you have already done it, well and good. If you have not done it, kindly install the NDLI mobile app. Once you install, then open the app and then search on a topic of your choice. It could be a subject of teaching, subject of study, or subject of interest, any topic that comes to your mind. Just search on the mobile app and then let me know which topic you searched and how many results you found. Okay, I'm going to give you 5 minutes for time for doing this activity. Now it's 3:07 in my system. I'm going to give you time till 3:12. So kindly complete this exercise. And I don't know whether chat facility is enabled. I guess chat facility is enabled here. So kindly in the chat box, if you have installed, you just put install the app, and then which topic you searched and how many results you found. Okay, and your 5 minutes time starts now. Okay, I can see Mr. Anikesh searched on concrete and he found 2,98,000 results. Dr. Navarajan searched on gate material for electrical engineering and he found 779. Mr. Abu Rohan Sheikh searched on structural analysis 2 and he found 20 lakh resources. Just 2 more minutes before we move on to the presentation. Indian Untold History by Mr. Sanjog Pradhan searched on Indian Untold History. He found 15,000 results. Mr. Soumya Dikta Munshi searched on thermal engineering. Mr. Joseph Tamal searched on automobile. Mr. Saurabh Jaiswal searched on quantum mechanics. Mr. Depajit Sarkar searched on army engineering. Mr. Pramod Chandra Rai searched on strength of materials. Ms. Samrita Kundu searched on computer science. Last 1 minute left. Mr. Sumon Chakrabarti searched on design of steel structures. Mr. Bajrang searched on irrigation system. Mr. Pankaj searched on soil mechanics. Mr. Pavi Pradhan searched on construction planning and management. Akshay Prasad searched on management studies. Ms. Radha Rani Gupta searched on environmental engineering. Very good. And Dr. Bapri Ghosh searched on machine learning. Very good. Mr. Roman Bushel searched on building construction. Kaushik Devnath searched on structural analysis. Shubhadeep searched on HVDC transmission. Nipesh Chetri searched on soil mechanics. Very good. Okay, good. So I think some of you have at least installed the app and started exploring. So what you have started doing is just a tip of the iceberg. So there is huge amount of resources that are unutilized or underutilized, right? So so imagine if we have 404.8 crore resources available, full text resources that are available which majority of them are relevant for especially for higher educational institution. And even if you put a value of 100 rupees per resource, so you are sitting on a resource value of about 480 crore rupees of worth of knowledge resources. Okay, and these resources are available at your fingerprint. You don't have to pay a single penny. Even I remember when we were doing our graduation or post graduation or PhD, we used to take photocopy every month at least for about minimum of 5,000 rupees to 10,000 rupees. Okay, and imagine in a semester if we had to spend anywhere between like 20,000 rupees to 30,000 rupees only in photocopying these resources. But now all these, many of these resources are available at your fingerprint. So my humble request to each one of you, after this session is over, especially to the faculty members, after the session is over, kindly use the app and see uh, if it's adding any value to you. If it's creating any value, then you spread it. If you don't find any value, just ignore. I won't push anyone. If you are not finding any value, I won't push anyone. But if you find it useful, and if you think it may be useful for your students, your friends, relative, and family members, kindly share it with them, and start using NDLI within your curriculum. I remember one of the colleges, what they have done is every month they have requested the student to submit an assignment, and the faculty member is so nice, and she makes it a point to ensure that the resources for the assignment should be taken from the NDLI. So now, looking at her department, she was from the psychology department. Now all the departments in the college are finding these resources useful. So kindly start with one department if it's useful, and I'm sure for engineering discipline we have huge amount of resources. So kindly start using this, right? So now we will get back to the presentation. There are just last two parts available to share. I will quickly finish it in next few minutes. So now the second last part is uh, what is the difference between Google and NDLI, right? Because we use Google extensively, and like anything that comes to our mind, we first go to Google Baba to understand anything. So now let's see with the help of an example how Google and NDLI are different. So imagine there is a girl called Payal who is studying in class 8 and her native language is Hindi. And she is very scared about magnetism in the subject of physics. Similarly, there is a guy called Shamik who wants to pursue his PhD on the subject of magnetism. Okay. Now, both of them went to Google and they searched for the same topic, magnetism, and they found same results, 1.89 crore results. That's brilliant, right? And then they came to NDLI and they searched for the same topic, magnetism, and they found 11,16,000 results. Now, what Payal did was she applied two filters for her educational level, which is 5th to 8th standard. And then she chose languages Hindi and she got only 8 results. Whereas what Shamik did was he chose only career and technical papers and he got 219 results. So imagine where is 8 and 219 results and where is 1.89 crore results. So from this example, we can see the broader difference between Google and NDLI. So before I get into it, I just wanted to tell you how Google functions. So the moment you put a search term called magnetism, what Google does is it goes around the entire World Wide Web, and wherever this term called magnetism is there, it will just pull the results and display it in front of you. So that's a huge service that the humankind has got it done from Google. It's brilliant. We are not competitors to Google, but it has its own limitations, right? So in this process, what Google can't do is it can't distinguish whether it's coming from an authentic source or an unauthentic source, right? It can't distinguish whether it's a real information or a fake information. It can't distinguish whether it's an educational content or non-educational content. It can't distinguish whether it's relevant for Shamik or Payal or Vignesh. It can't do, right? On the other hand, at NDLI, each content that is available is purely educational content, right? Because as I told you, we only partner with educational research and publishing institutions. We don't partner with any non-educational institutions at all. That is the first major difference. The second difference is you can actually narrow down the results using educational filter options. I told you there are, I showed you about 9 filter options. All of them are relevant only for educational domain. In Google also you have advanced search option, but that is very generic in nature. And then you can modify the search based on content type. And then we have some national license content also. Now we come to the last part of the presentation, which is how to operate an NDLA club in your own institution. And I think your institution has already become a member of NDLA club. And we have about 111 NDLA club members from your institution. That's good. Now I will just touch upon one important part. Suppose if you want to join NDLI, National Digital Library of India, you just have to give your email ID, first name and last name to your nodal person of the NDLI club, and he will send it to us to this ID, ndl-support@iitkgp.ac.in. We will, I think your nodal person, I think Dr. Nagarajan will tell you whom to contact. And for individual registration, suppose if your friends, relatives, or family members want to join, then in that case, what you can do is go to the NDLA homepage. On the top right corner, you can see the login button. Just click on this button. Then this pop-up window will open. Just click on the register button. Then the registration form will open. Just fill the basic information, click terms and condition, and click sign up. That's it. It won't take more than 5 minutes for you to register at NDLA. Now, the most important part of NDLA club is you need to conduct at least 10 events. Okay, you have to conduct 6 local events, which is within your college, and 4 you have to participate in 4 global events, which NDLA or other institutions will organize. So, what are these activities that you can conduct? The primary objective of NDLA club is to promote the culture of reading. That is the most important objective of NDLA club. First one is lecture series, a quiz competition, or a storytelling session, go quiz session, film screening, drawing competition, role play, writing competition, maker space, or debate competition. Okay, so these are some of the indicative list of activities, and you can also come up with your own activities for performing. And you can also conduct an inter-college activity or a competition to promote the culture of sharing knowledge and promoting the culture of reading. So these are some of the activities being conducted by various NDLA clubs across the country. So that's from my end. If you have any questions, I would be happy to respond to your questions.
If anyone has any question, then please ask.
Students and faculty members, if you have any queries regarding NDLI login or NDLI club, you can just unmute yourself and you can ask your queries to the resource person. Forum is open to faculty members and students to raise your queries. Instead of posted in chat box, now you can directly ask your questions to the resource person. As I rightly mentioned about the activities to be conducted under the banner of NDLI, we have also decided to conduct at least one such event every month in order to strengthen our NDLI club. And we wanted to encourage all our students and faculty members to be part of NDLI club, so that we can effectively utilize the online digital resources available. Especially in this pandemic situation, this is very much useful. I could see some of the students coming to campus to take books from the library. All those books are readily available in NDLI forum portal in digital form. Please make use of the opportunity given to you. Chief Librarian, sir, if you have any queries related to NDLI, you can ask. Because you are the right person to ask first question in this forum.
No, sir. Documents are available in this portal. So all are searching. Okay, thank you, sir.
Sir has given step-by-step procedure, right from the beginning to end. there is no questions regarding NDLI. I think so. There is no question. If there is no question, shall we move on to the next agenda point?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, Dr. Vignesh Swarnamohan, sir. Thank you for the fantastic presentation. So now I would like to request our executive member of SIM NDLI, Mr. Somadipta Munshi, sir, to say about NDLI club. Sir, please.
Thank you, Sandeep sir. Splendid launch of National Digital Library of India Club in our institute, Surendra Institute of Engineering Management today. Dr. Vignesh Swarnamohan sir, Chief Strategic and Outreach Officer, National Digital Library, IIT Kharagpur is present here as a chief guest and addressed about the importance of digital library in the field of academics and student career building. Basically, NDLI clubs enables the learner to effectively use the NDLI throughout the journey of education while motivating them to contribute actively toward the national knowledge trove. The vision of NDLI club is to realize the Read India mission by inculcating reading and content sharing habit among the learners. And the mission of LDLI Club is learn, share, and grow. So, with the help of National Digital Library, learners can learn. Then, with the help of this club, learners can connect with the NDLI club members of the other various from the others various institute and share their knowledge through different club activity, which helps them to grow. Till now, we have 100 plus registered club members from our institute, and we are expecting very soon all the students and staff members of our college will join the club to learn from our 24 into 7 enable integrated digital knowledge source for the nation and share their thoughts with the community through future SIM and DLI club activities. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Our next session is group photo session. So I would like to request everyone to enable your video, please.
So before we do that, I just wanted to tell you. So I've just shared the feedback form URL in the chat box.
Yes.
Right. So just you have to for people who want a certificate of participation, kindly fill your feedback form, and also the certificate will be automatically generated from NDLA Club platform. So only for people who sign up for NDLA Club will be able to register for this event. I have not yet closed the event, so kindly first sign up yourself for the NDLA Club. I have also shared the NDLA Club for URL as well as unique passkey of your institution. So once you click on this URL, I will just start the screen sharing so that it becomes easier for you. So once you click on the sign up URL, it will take you to a page like this. So here you have to enter your institute's unique passkey, which also I have shared it in the chat box. So just copy it and then enter the passkey. It will automatically validate your passkey. Now you have to enter your email ID, first name, last name, and a password of your choice, right? Once you do that, then you automatically created. Okay, and after this, I think you need to sign into you. After the account is created, click on sign in. Here, enter your registered email ID and password. Click sign in. Then on the top, you will see event section. There you can see the today's session listed there. Just click on the event. Then on the right hand side, you will see check eligibility. Once it's eligible, then you can click on participate to participate in this event. Okay. Then only the system will be able to generate the certificate. As per the requirement, I think at least 100 people have to attend the first event. So kindly do this process because this is the first second event that we are organizing using this platform. So there may be some glitches. We are still streamlining. So in case if you find any difficulty, I think Dr. Nagarajan, you can get in touch with me. I would be happy to help you. So
Yes.
the process is a two-step process. suppose if you are already a club member of NDLI, just go to the URL, feedback form URL, and submit your feedback form within next 30 minutes. In case if you have not yet joined NDLI club, kindly go to the URL which I have shared, which is sign up URL, NDL sign up URL. There you just enter the passkey and then self-register yourself. Once you've registered for NDLI club, then you kindly sign into the page, enter your username as password. Then you have to join the today's event, because I could see only 18 people have joined so far. So only those 18 people will get the certificate of participation. So kindly look into that part. Okay. So that's it from my end. Now you can proceed as per the agenda.
I request all the students and faculty switch on your video for a moment so that we can capture the photo. And regarding certificate, Sarah has clearly explained. Even I have received quite a number of emails from the student. I could not able to click participate like that. So you can try once so that you can get the certificate from the NDLI. Sir, how long this forum will be open for submitting that form?
So I think this, since it's the first time, we will keep it open for till 6 o'clock today. So if you have already signed up and registered for the event, then you just file the feedback form. And in case if you have not yet joined the NDLI club, first you register yourself as a member of NDLI club using the passkey and URL. And once registered, then you have to sign up for this today's event. Okay, so for that you need to sign in again to the home page, and then open the event section, choose the today's event, and then click check eligibility and then participate. Then your name will come to us. Then I will coordinate with Dr. Nagarajan to issue the certificate of participation. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Sandeep, you can proceed with the
Yes, so now I would like to request the student member of SIM NDLI, Mr. Abu Rohan Sheikh, for vote of thanks. Abu
Thank you,
Rohan.
sir.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. It is our immense pleasure to be a part of National Digital Library of India. As Professor Malay, sir, the Secretary of SIM NDL Club, has already addressed that our college is one of the 150 colleges in India which meet the requirements to be a part of this NDLI club. On behalf of the SIM family, first and foremost, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the chief guest and keynote speaker of this national webinar, Dr. Vignesh Swarnamohan sir, Chief Strategic and Outreach Officer, NDLI IIT Kharagpur, to have with us in this national webinar and inaugural session of SIM NDLI Club in spite of his busy schedule. I think we would not be a part of this SIM NDI club if these people were not working for us. So let me now express my gratitude to Chairman sir, Director ma'am, all the respected HODs, faculties, and most importantly, Principal sir, who acted as a bridge between us and such honorable people of outside. So heartiest thanks to Principal sir for making this possible. I'm sure that me, along with my fellow mates, will be using utmost benefits of National Digital Library of India in our academic path. At last but not least, I would like to express my sincere thanks to the participants for joining this inaugural session, followed by a national webinar on NDLI user awareness program. Again, thanks to all. Stay safe. Have a nice day. Over to the moderator.
Thank you, Abu. And thank you, our Honorable Principal Sir, Dr. A.S. Ragarajan, our Chief Guest, Dr. Vignesh Swarnamohan Sir, and all my colleagues and also the students. So, sir.
once again, I request all the faculty members and students to complete the feedback form. Those who have become the member already, you can directly submit your feedback forms. Those who have not done the procedure yearly, please do it now and submit the feedback so that your certificate will be processed.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Thanks for your kind support. Thanks, Dr. Ragarajan, for the event. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks. Those who have submitted your feedback, you can leave the room. Rest of the people, please do it. I'll keep this room open for next 1.5 hours.
Okay. Subject, source of content, type of content learning.